Today we're going to review the Basecamp Voyager duffel bag from North Face. Now I bought this 2 months ago. This is the 32 litre version of the bag, and the smoky brown khaki stone colour is the one that I opted for. It came in at around £100, just over. At the moment I think it's selling for £80 on the website, but that's probably just a temporary promotion that North Face are doing. So in terms of storage space and capacity that this offers, there's an awful lot of pockets, which is always a good thing. So in the main section here, I put a couple of things in here that I would normally store. So this is a dip belt, obviously, pair of parallettes. You can fit in a lot more than this. There is a divider in the middle, so if you unhook this and you unhook this and hook them both here and here, you can actually put a divider up in the middle here to split your belongings, which can be quite useful. I personally haven't yet used this, but again, I know a lot of people would find that quite useful. And there's a little section here which is really handy and I use quite often. Easy to access. You can't fit loads in here, but I don't think it's designed to fit an awful lot of things in there anyway. So if we go to the top and bottom of the bag, so we'll start off with the top. Zip this up. There's a small compartment up here, so I usually put in things like a wallet, perfume, earbuds. Again, not the biggest compartment, doesn't need to be. It's just something that gives you quick access when you're in a rush. Really handy to have. The bottom compartment, again, similar to the top, quick access. So I've got a padlock, some other bits and bobs in here, and it's got a little divider here, a mesh divider. I don't find this as useful simply because it's at the bottom of the bag and it makes accessing this a little bit difficult, so I'm not over convinced that this needed to be here, or maybe it could be designed better. Maybe I'm just being overcritical. So close that up. Now, a lot of people like myself might have bought this bag because it has the backpack option. So if I go into the back here and pull this and this out, it handily converts into a backpack. There's some pros and some cons to this. Obviously if you want to use it as a duffel and a backpack, that's the obvious pro. However, the one issue that I have with this is, I think if you're going to go for a duffel bag, you're going to get a bag that's purely a duffel. If you're going to go for a backpack, you're going to get something that's purely a backpack. This kind of in-between thing that North Face have gone for, I'm not sure it's the best idea. For example, it does make it kind of awkward when you're opening the bag. I'm trying to, as you can see there, it gets stuck. Not the biggest inconvenience, but again, it's not perfect. However, if you are into that kind of thing and you do want both options, obviously it's massively useful. You've got your daisy chains here as well. One thing that also says on the side, there's a water bottle compartment, which is quite useful. So that's a quick whirlwind tour in terms of, you know, the compartments within the bag. You may have noticed here there's a couple of rips. That's nothing against the bag itself. I took a bit of a tumble on my bike, and I don't think there's any bag in the world that would have taken that fall and not got any rips. So in terms of durability, you know, you can see the bag's really strong. It's going to last you a good long time, so I wouldn't have any issues with that. Now, dimensions. So let's do a quick length, width, height. So you've got, give or take, about 50, just over 50 centimeters. Take length, let's take the width here. So what's that, about 30 centimeters, and the height comes to about just under 20 centimeters. So it's a good size, not too big, not too small. It'll probably suit most people for your everyday needs, as long as you're not going, to be fair, if you're going abroad, it might suit you as well there. If if you've only got a couple of things that you're going to be taking in a backpack every day, this is probably going to be too big for you. You want something a little smaller than this. One thing that's important to mention is this. So again, the bag is advertised as having a laptop or tablet compartment which can fit in a laptop up to 15 inches. So that's in here. It does fit a laptop in there. However, my one issue with this is I'm not sure it's the safest place in terms of padding to put it. So there's a little bit of padding here, you can't really see. It's not the thickest layer. And again, there's some inside, but I personally wouldn't put my laptop in here, especially if it's an expensive laptop. I just wouldn't risk it. That also feeds into this compartment here. So again, this is a really handy compartment on the back where you can also put your laptop, but as you can see here, this feeds into a second issue. So this doesn't come with the bag, it's like a little foam thick layer that I've placed in myself, because depending on what you have in the back and you're wearing this on your back even for modest amounts of time, you can really feel the items digging into your back. So I felt the need for this. That's definitely one shortcoming for the bag. It does still leave you space to, you know, store other bits and bats in the back pocket, but again, I wouldn't say it's the comfiest in terms of the feeling that you get on your back after a bit of a walk in it. And even the straps themselves, as you can see here, they're not the thickest, they're not the widest. So if you've got a heavy load in the bag, you're gonna feel it eventually. One thing that's really useful with this bag and the way it's designed is the opening of the main compartment. So most bags, you'll have two zips. You'll open one down this side and obviously it'll go about halfway down here. The other one would go down this side and go somewhere down here. Then you kind of open your bag and you kind of have to like fish around to get what you want out of the bag, which is annoying, to put it nicely. With this bag, the zip goes all the way around. You can place the bag flat on the ground, and there you go, you have access to the full bag straight away, which I find massively helpful as opposed to most backpacks that are sold nowadays. The last thing that I'll mention is this here. So North Face have advertised this bag as a kind of, so you can see here, I don't know if you can see clearly, but there's a mesh divider that I've pointed out before, and in theory you can fold this bag in on itself so it all fits in a pouch that is about this big. Don't find it the most useful, and I don't know when I'd ever use it, but I guess it's a handy feature to have. It's also really awkward trying to tuck it into a small pouch, and probably won't help with the creases that you'll get on the bag, but again, the option's always there if you need it. Is it water repellent? I'd say yes. I've used this again for about 2 months now. I've been in heavy rain with this, albeit not the longest of journeys. I haven't had any problem in terms of water leaking into the bag. Water does sometimes get in through this and through here, so if you've got a water bottle in here, or even without water, a little bit of water does tend to show on the inside here. Just here, I don't know if you can see that. And it kind of shows here, but not to the extent that it would damage your items inside. And that is my review of the Basecamp Voyager duffel.